Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, everybody, welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Cush. We are here again in the middle of what scientists are calling the summer of punch. Now, science has a way of figuring out the right thing to do, I think. Maybe not all. Oh, lanterns, gosh darn it. I don't always have the right way of figuring out what to do. But anyway, we are here in the middle. That one's broken. We're here in the middle of something called the Summer of Punch, and I feel like one punch that if we are going to do the Summer of Punch correctly, we have to do it to death. And I think after today, we will have done it to death, is the Planter's Punch. Now, I know recently we've done another Planter's Punch. We did Don Beach's Planter's Punch very recently, incredibly recently. But there is more than one way to skin a cat, I believe is the phrase. There is more than one way to make a Planter's Punch. And we are going to be making some Planter's Punches today. And we're going to be judging them. We're going to be figuring out what type of Planter's Punch we in particular like. And then we're going to drink them. Well, after that, we're just going to drink the punches. So that's what we are up to. Boom, bang, pow, pow, pow. Get ready for it. We are making 3 different Planter's Punches. One from an esteemed bartender. One from an esteemed bar owner. And one from a guy named Vic. We're going to be making one of Vic's punches as well. So get ready for that. That's what we're doing. Hopefully, you guys are interested at all in Planter's Punches. I can't guarantee these will be the last Planter's Punches we make all Summer of Punch, but they'll be the last for a little bit. Let me say hello real quick to all of you that are here. Let me say hello to our good friend Moose. Moose joined me in the VIP lounge. Remember, if you want to show up early, we have a VIP lounge. What happens in the VIP lounge? Absolutely nothing. You get to watch me sometimes be back here, sometimes be running around the rest of the bar trying to figure out exactly what I've forgotten, oftentimes muttering to myself. But no longer do you have to worry about where the key was left to the bar. I'm letting you all sneak in early. You can follow a link that looks a lot like this. You do not need to have your cameras on, but you do need to be the first 10 people in here. That's going to be important. Let me say hello to DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Kush-Tucky Derby. And funny enough, she got in just under Stephanie Husband, winner of the 2024 Kush-Tucky Derby. Debbie Clark did she finish the race earlier, and she is here earlier. It all kind of makes sense. I mean, listen, we're sticking to what's happening. Congratulations to the husbands, though, on winning the 2024 Kush-Tucky Derby. All thanks to this guy who gave up his seat. If you weren't there for the Kush-Tucky Derby, you missed a day. It came down to the wire with Shawnee Panabaker offering up one last horse to the husbands because there was some shoddy horse calling. I'm not going to say who was calling the horses, but I think we know. I wasn't really paying attention that day. Might have been drinking. Anyway, congratulations to all of you for being here. Let me say hello to Tiki Tom is here. Good to see you, Tiki Tom. Amy Beer is here, ready to drink or just watch. I don't know. It's totally up to you. We don't have to all sit around and drink. We can all just sort of watch and hang out. Let me say hello really quickly to a good friend, a behind-the-scenes friend of the show, but a friend nonetheless. Let me say hello and a very happy birthday to Craig. I had a chance to meet Craig when I was at the Arizona Tiki Oasis. Craig is a wonderful, lovely, perfectly huggable kind of guy. And hopefully we will see him again very soon. But if not, I think we will. But if not, we will wish him all a happy birthday now. And if we all could we'll say, you know what? We're going to sing happy birthday to Craig at the end. So stick around for the birthday singing to Craig. Let me say hello to, still waiting that the problem is not on mine. No, Tiki Tom, we were just a little late. Usually we're right on time. Today we were a little late. My pedals weren't working. What do I mean by pedals? The things that change the screen. Those are pedals. They weren't working. And so we finally got them going. Let me say hello to our friend Jay Carter, party starter. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, that thing's not working. Don't even worry about that. That's not going to be a thing today. Paul is still trying to get me my bottle. Yeah, Paul, it is, I got your texts. We are busy. We are going to try and find a way to get everybody together, Paul, I promise. But yesterday was not the day. Let me say hello to our good friend, Davey Virtue. Hey-o! To Davey Virtue, here is Susan Lang, ready to go. Scotty DeBoy is here, one of the boys here with April DeBoy. Two of the boys are here. We got all the boys. Kushtucky Derby, funnest day of the year. Couldn't agree more. Hello there, Doc and Jen behind the scene. Love you. Made my hubby smile. That's the way to go. He is perfectly huggable in every way. We dig that, Craig. Hopefully, again, we can see Craig very soon. But before we get too far, I think it's important to talk about punches because this is a summer punch and I think it's illegal not to. I don't think that it is a legal situation that we can sit here reaping all the benefits of the summer of punch and not talk about punches. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about this punch, the Planters Punch. It is everywhere. It's the craze. It is the seasonably fashionable thing to be drinking these times. And what's great about this one is, of course, it isn't just a singular drink. It is an idea of a drink. It's the idea of a drink. Basically, every island in the Caribbean, every island that grows any type of rum, any type of sugar, which gets made into rum, any type of those things. Well, all of those islands will have different plantations, right? Where they are growing all of this sugar. On a plantation, there are planters. That's where the plantation is, people that are out there planting. So from there, it can only be assumed that every planter has his own punch, depending on what else is growing around them. So when we say that there is only one planter's punch, we are saying a lie. We are wrong. We are looking each other in the eyes, and we are saying, getting my hat set. We are saying the wrong thing. Lots of different planter's punches. All it is the idea of 1 of sour, 2 of sweet, 3 of strong, 4 of weak, and a little spice to make it all nice. From there, we can sort of bring in any other thing that we want to make this. So I figured, why not take a little meander, a little stroll down Planter's Punch Lane, and we are going to be making a few of these Planter's Punches. I tried my very best to find Planter's Punches that were different enough from each other that we could party and have a good time with each of those different versions of them. Some of these will have orange and chocolate in them. Some of them will be adding, we'll have the addition of some soda water. And one of them is basically the same thing we've been making for a long time, but still kind of interesting. Some of them will add grapefruit. One of you, this first one you might actually recognize as another drink. I recognize it as another drink. And that's it. Let me see. Let me say hello to David Virtue's 6-year-old. We got stickers specifically so that we could get kids to watch this alcohol show. That's why we got stickers, to get kids to watch this alcohol show. That is not true. We did not. That is a lie. That is a falsehood. I'm glad that your kid liked the sticker, but we take no responsibility for kids enjoying stickers. I should do something else, shouldn't I? What else should I put? Oh, okay. Either way. Okay, let's get into this cocktail. This first cocktail is called the Planter's Punch, but it has a different name to it. It's actually called Dick Moano's Planter's Punch. Now, in the era of tiki, there were a lot of these guys. Journeymen. People that would, these bartenders that would learn all the tiki drinks at one place and then get paid a wage to sort of take they are, I guess, get paid a bonus. They get paid like a bonus to take what they've learned at one of these very successful tiki establishments, and then they would take them to other tiki establishments. That happened all the time. And you know who saw that coming? Was Don Beach. He said, listen, I can't have, just because you come work for me a little bit, I teach you how to do everything, and then you're going to take all of my drinks. Instead of the shark bite, now you're doing the shark tooth somewhere. Now instead of the cobra's fang, you're doing the cobra's tail somewhere. Now instead of the QB cooler, you're making the Mai Tai somewhere. I can't have all of this shuffling, shifting around. I need my recipes to be my recipes. And you bums out there, I'm sure he said bums, he said, you bums, you need to come up with your own freaking recipes. Well, unfortunately, that just isn't how it happened. That's just how it happened. A lot of times these bartenders would go in, they would learn enough about an establishment, and then they would say, hey, little kissy face, little money pinch. Can I please, oh please, get some money to come and make your bar just like that other very successful bar? And it worked. I mean, listen, it worked. I'm not trying to paint these guys in a bad light. I'm sure that they had their reasons too. I'm sure that all bar owners weren't super good dudes either. But this guy named Dick Moano, he was one of those guys. He worked at like the Aku Aku. He was all over the place. Well, in that he had learned how to build a drink, much like we see with a guy like Beach Bumberry. He learned how to build a drink, or he learned how other people built drinks, and then he learned how to build his own drinks. Well, he has his very own version of the cocktail known as the Planter's Punch, Dick Moano's Planter's Punch. And it's interesting. I think it's very interesting. It is almost identical to another very famous drink. If you guys have already gone through and looked at what the thing is, can anybody tell me? Anybody know what that drink looks like? Anybody tell me? No. Okay. It looks just like a drink called the Navy Grog. Let's win our awards real quick. Should have won the awards beforehand, but nothing was working beforehand. There we go. Looks very much like a cocktail called the Navy Grog. It does have a bit more lime in it. 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. It definitely bumps up that lime, but still looks pretty interesting. And thus, I'm very interested to see exactly how this one turns out. So this is Dick Moano's version. Tom Cush said something about whether I was drinking or not when he went through the people were here. I'm drinking bourbon and diet whilst watching. Phew, good. Beer what? Okay. We got Amy beer. She got her drink. We're ready to go. Okay. We've said it all. Let's just make it. Can we just make it? This is a pretty simple version of a cocktail. It doesn't necessarily follow the 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. In fact, it really hits us with a lot of sour, not so much sweet, but then a lot of rum. And I do think in the end, finding a lot of different versions of the rum to do here is going to help us out. So let's start off. We want to start off with the insane part of this thing, which is going to be cutting out these limes. We need 2 full ounces of lime juice, according to our good friend Dick Moano. So I think we're probably gonna need 2 limes. We need 2 ounces. It's gonna be about 2 limes. So we're gonna find our thing. We really want to get this juice a-flowing. Slice her here. Slice her there. Put that there. Move those off. Let's get these stickers off. We don't want to meme any stickers right there. Right there. Coming through. And right there. Excellent. All right. We are just going to squeeze by hand. I assume we'll get about 2 ounces out of this, but we will squeeze and then measure. I think that's a good way to do this. Not the best way to do it, but a pretty good way. Squeeze. There we go. Nice big squeeze. Put that off to the side. Nice big squeeze. Kyle, if you get a chance, I think there is a bucket, one of those bus tubs somewhere. Do you mind bringing in a bus tub? I think I'm going to need it. We have a lot of fruit to squeeze tonight, and I really liked it the other day when we had one. Squeeze this in. Okay, we're We're like halfway there. Tons of squeezing. So much squeezing. Oh, God. Oh, right in the eye. Just back up a little bit. I think we might be close. Let's check this one out. I'm just going to go ahead and measure. Oh, almost exactly. We're going to put the rest of it right here. Almost exactly 2 ounces of some lime juice. I didn't get the... We should get the video of me putting it in. Oh, yeah, Kyle. Looking good, pal. There we go. Appreciate you. Good work. Put that right there. Now I'm stuck behind the bar. All right, we have now 2 ounces of that. We are also going to be. This is going to be a big squeezing day. So hopefully everybody's just like ready and willing to go with me on a squeezing adventure. Throw these lines down there. Very good. We need 1 ounce of grapefruit juice as well. Put you all there. Hang out. 1 ounce of grapefruit juice. Find a knife. We'll do it on the back of one of these guys instead. Never mind. Do it on the back of this one. Whatever. We're just looking for a knife to roll this grapefruit down. We don't want a lot of seeds, so if we can avoid it, we will avoid it. Let's win our rewards here. Run this down our knife. Looking for about an ounce. Let's say it like this. We were looking for about an ounce of grapefruit juice. Trying to get as a few seeds in there as possible. Kind of just eyeballing this at this point. There we go. I think that's about an ounce. Whew. Stinks. Stinks like grapefruit. Okay. We now need 3 different types of rum. Always love it when we have 3 different types of rum into a drink. It's it's a chance for us to be a little hoity-toity with our rums. We're going to start off by adding. Thank you, everybody who's saying nice shot. I appreciate it looks beautiful, right? We're going to start off by throwing in a little gold Puerto Rican rum. Now that sounds fancy. Gold, a Puerto Rican rum. That sounds like, boy, we do we even have that? Is that even a thing? I mean, can we afford it in this economy? Let me tell you. This is gold Puerto Rican rum right here. This is, it even says it right there. It says gold Puerto Rican Bacardi, gold. And it says Cuba, but trust me, if you're an American, you're getting gold Puerto Rican rum. We need 1 ounce of some gold Puerto Rican rum. May I suggest that you use our good friend Bacardi Gold? That's a good way to do it. 1 ounce of that. We will also, turns out, need some dark Jamaican rum. Dark Jamaican rum. Boy, oh. Running out of this real quick. This is dark Jamaican rum. This is our good friend Myers. We need to put in 1 ounce of a dark Jamaican rum. You can use, really, let's just be honest, you can use kind of any dark Jamaican rum you want. If you want to go real funky with this thing, I say go for it. You want to use like a Hamilton, like a black pot still, something like that. That's a dark Jamaican. You want to use some Appleton. Hey, that's up to you. We need 1 ounce of some dark Jamaican rum. I think we're going to have just about enough. Whew. We have one more drink that uses this, so I'm really excited to see if we can make it through. And then we need some aged rum. Now, originally, this one called for rum barbancourt. Rum barbancourt. But I kind of nixed that. I think rum barbancourt is great. I think we have some. but I think we're going to go with something a little different. I just want to find some aged rum. So I'm going to be using the Flor de Caña. Something that has a little bit of age to it, something that is not necessarily a funky rum, but something that is kind of in the spirit of a... just find something that has an age statement on it. That's all we're really looking for. 1 ounce of an aged rum. And one of the things that almost made us late today, honey syrup. We've made honey syrup in the past. Obviously, very, very simple to make honey syrup in the past. But today, when we came in to get our honey syrup, I noticed that the top was starting to pop off. I'm going to word real quick. There we go. The top was starting to come off. Well, we have to remember that even though honey lasts forever, honey don't go nowhere. Those little bees, whatever they're pooping out, that stuff is the good stuff. The moment we start to add water to our honey, it's going to go. Now, I do think there would be an interesting experiment to see maybe if we added distilled water to our honey, maybe it wouldn't do so much. Or if we added some spring water, if it would go faster. I don't know. But just remember, runny honey does eventually go kaput. So careful with that. We need 1 ounce of some 2 parts honey, 1 part water. We call it runny honey. Some people call it honey syrup, but we need some runny honey here. 1 ounce. Looking great there. Put this away. And we are going to do a little bit of slow, smooth as fast as we reach for the last. Why does this seem like we're falling off the face of the earth? I just want it to be flat. How do I just get it to stay flat? You know what I probably got to do? Stop bumping it. Anyway, we want to go get some of this stuff. This is grenadine. Grenadine, oh grenadine, showed up in so many of these recipes. I have a feeling that pomegranates grow like apples on plantations. I feel like maybe the pomegranate is just the representation of the plantation somewhere. I don't know why pomegranate shows up so much, but I also think that maybe it's one of those like really very extremely tiki things to do. Add a little bit of pomegranate. Kyle is concerned that maybe the bar is falling. Bonbon says, yikes, don't drink that stuff. Totally agree. Did not drink it. Thought about it for a second. Maybe I'd made mead, I said to myself. That's not how that works. Dougie G had a home honey syrup do the same thing to me this past weekend. Had scum on the surface and popped when I opened the cork. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. All of your syrups will eventually do that, so be careful with them. But you have a little bit of time. And if you fortify them by adding in some white rum, some overproof white rum, some vodka, some Everclear, something like that, you'll have a lot more time with them. We know this, but I like to say it. Just fill time or whatever. Go ahead and put in 1 bar spoon here of some grenadine. This is obviously the homemade stuff. I am legally barred from using roses. They have an injunction against me, I think, at this point. And that's fine. We don't all have to like each other. We don't all have to think everybody is great. Last little bit, we do want to throw in just a little bit of this guy. This is our Angostura bitters, sponsored by the Bitter Baroness and the Bitter Baron themselves. If anybody has spoken with them, please let me know how they're doing. I hope they're doing okay. Go ahead and put in, let's say, about 4 dashes of some Angostura bitters. And there we have it. We're going to put some ice in here. I, like a dork, have completely forgotten about my ice scoop. So we're going to have to scoop with another guy here. Scoop this in. Lots and lots of ice. Kyle, when you come to get this drink, will you see if the ice scoop is just like sitting around somewhere by the ice machine or something? That would be extra helpful for me. We're gonna give this a big fat shake. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at this! It works. I thought it had broken. I thought it had broken. I thought it was a goner. Turns out, not a goner. It's not a goner. We're gonna pour this one in here. Pour this one in a one of these guys, like a Collins glass situation. That's my hand for reference. This is my hand giving the shaka right there. Go ahead and pour this right in here. There we go. Now, really, in the end, this drink, the only difference that this drink has between this one and the Navy Grog is 1 extra ounce of lime. So we could be dealing with a pretty sour situation at this point. Also, the grenadine, just a little bit of grenadine, and the Angostura bitters. Usually, now, people can make their Navy Grogs however the heck they want. I'm not the police. Turns out, I'm not the police. But a lot of Navy Grogs do not have bitters, and they do not have things like grenadine in them. So this is a little different, but it's very similar. And I really like a Navy Grog. So this turns out adding that grenadine and those bitters do technically make this a punch. Whereas I would say myself that a Navy Grog is in the sour category, otherwise known as a lesser punch. We're going to throw a little mint in here. Oh, let's throw a little mint like this. Oh, yeah. Let's get Kiss in there. This is just a little chocolate mint. Throw that right there. It's kind of pathetic. I wish it stood up. It was so, like, proud moments before the show. And now it's not so proud anymore. It doesn't look quite as good. All right. Throw in one of these guys. And there we have it. Is Lulu here? Let me just say hello to Lulu real quick. Let me just find whatever Lulu's up to. Oh, is Lulu? Were we just talking about Lulu? This is Cocktail Lulu. I stole Dougie G's phone. Perfect. Okay, well, good Lulu. Hello, Lulu. Cheers to Lulu. Okay. This is Dick Moanu's version of the Planter's Punch. It's different than other versions of the Planter's Punch we've seen, certainly. This one contains no straight sugar. This one contains things like grapefruit. We're seeing a lot of grapefruit. We're seeing extra lime added to this one, and we're seeing a 3 rum split. Kind of interesting for the Planter's Punch, but we are seeing 3 of strong in this one. We're seeing 3 of sour with the grapefruit and the lime. We're seeing 1 of sweet. We're seeing 3 of strong. We're shaking this one a little bit, so we're seeing whatever week we got in there, and just a little spice to make it nice. It doesn't follow the normal conventions, but it's good. Yeah, this is exactly what I thought it would be, which good for me. Pat myself on the back. It's sour. I think that a drink like the Navy Grog is pretty well balanced. Usually the Navy Grog is going to be 3 ounces of rum and 2.25 ounces of, I guess, an ounce and a half of sour. So that's 3/4 ounce lime, 3/4 ounce grapefruit, and then 3/4 of an ounce of honey. So it follows the same basic conventions. This one just sort of bumps up a lot of the juice. So it does end up being a way juicier cocktail. And if that's kind of what you're into, if you want a sort of a juicier cocktail, this is a fine drink. What I don't really taste at all, so we're going to put just a touch more, a few more dashes of Angostura. I get almost no Angostura, so we're going to put a few more in. And I taste none of the grenadine, which I think I'm okay with. I don't think I'm going to add any more grenadine to it. I don't want to have to, like, add more grenadine I don't want to have to add enough grenadine that I taste the grenadine. I'm not interested in that. And also, I don't. There'd be if I added enough to make it sweeter, we'd run into a weird issue. This is very close to a cocktail we are created for the Tiki Oasis Sweet Party, but added a secret ingredient. Ooh, we love secrets. Doug, I did get your message. I will be bringing the monkey. We'll be bringing the monkey to Tiki Oasis. So, Doug, fret not. We are in. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. I would not say that this is my very favorite version of the Planter's Punch that I've ever made. In fact, as it sits, as it gets less cold, I feel like it's going to be very sour. So, yeesh. Thank you, Dick Milano. But I don't think that's the one. Kyle, do you want this? If you could, Kyle, can you bring in my scoop? If you see a scoop. If you don't see a scoop, no big deal. We should be good. Let's just, Kyle says, sad mint. It does look very sad. The mint is not doing great. And we do have a lot more mint coming in to the rest of these drinks. Yes, David says, give it to Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. Okay, I'll take that from you. Appreciate you. And then I'll give you this. Actually, I'd like to hear what Kyle says. Why don't you give that a little sipperoo, Kyle? Tell us what you think of the cocktail. We remember, of course, galove, galike, gahate. We love a Kyle recommendation. Kyle sometimes likes a more sour drink. Oh, he's making a face. He's gone cross-eyed somehow. Here it comes. Here comes the recommendation. That's a galove. That's a galove. Wow. Okay. Well, listen, we don't all have to like the same things. We don't all have to like the same people. That is very sad. Yes, he shed a small tear over the mint. He's doing a whole kabuki play over there, really letting me know the story of the mint. Oh, there is a spider on the mint. We got it. Wow. Okay. We just pulled that in from outside. So, yes, we got a glove. We got a glove. Yes, yay, Kyle. Yes, Stephanie husband. Yay, Kyle. Lots of camera time, Kyle. Yes. Would we say too much? Is that what we're saying? Maybe too much camera time for Kyle? I might have said that. Anyway, we're 32 minutes in. We've only made one drink. Let's get into our next drink. Our next drink was brought to you by a guy named Victor. Victor Bergeron. Now, Victor Bergeron is, of course, one of the tiki dudes. Victor Bergeron owned a little bar called Hinky Dinks. Victor Bergeron did not, as far as I know, travel the world, take his college money, and leave out of New Orleans to go travel the world multiple times and understand how island and port life worked. He did not do that. That does not mean, though, that he did not know what a Planter's Punch was. And he did, in fact, make himself a Planter's Punch. Now, did he make it? Did he make this drink because he saw it on one of Don's recipes? Or did he just sort of find his way into learning about what a Planter's Punch is? I have my theories. I certainly have my theories. And Doug agrees with me. Yeah, I maybe Vic, after he saw Don's thing, figured out, oh gosh, we got to have a Planter's Punch. Or maybe it was a popular enough drink at that time that he just sort of created his own. I don't know. And honestly, I'm tired of talking about him. But we do have to put in to the Pantheon a version of the Planter's Punch that comes from Trader Vic. Now, to be fair, this is not Vic's only version of the Planter's Punch. In his at least in the 1972 version of his Bartender's Guide, the Planter's Punch is shown in there, I think 5 or 6 times, 5 or 6 different. He has a whole section of just Planter's Punches. And that was pretty common. We're going with this one because it's the closest to the other, to a real Planter's Punch. And I wanted to see what Vic would do with a cocktail like this. So that's what we're making. We're making Trader Vic's the cocktail that is most like the other Planters punches. That's what we're up to. So that's what we're doing. If, like me, you are, you're a little miffed at our good friend Trader Vic, that's fine, because the next drink right after this one is hilarious. And I'm very excited to make the next one. Even though the next one sounds like the weirdest one, the next drink is really funny. We're going to talk a little bit about a guy named Skipper Kent. But in the meanwhile, go ahead. We're going to be putting in 1/2 ounce of some lime juice. Right there. I think we can get 1/2 ounce from the rest of this. We're just going to squeeze this in here with our hands and just give it a whole wringing out. Oh, just throwing everything if we can. Throw this in here. Normally, I don't recommend squeezing these parts. If you can avoid it, obviously you can see at this point all of this gunk. This is what we were trying to avoid, is getting all of this gunk, all of that like mealy stuff in there. That's not what we really wanted, but it happened, and here we are. Let's just measure out, see if we got 1/2 ounce. Oh yeah, we got 1/2 ounce. 1/2 ounce of some lime juice. Pretty simple. We need 1 bar spoon, so not a lot of some dark sugar, some dark simple syrup. I think this is my dark simple syrup right here. Yep. And also some grenadine. We dealt with this earlier. We dealt with this combination as well. Or at least we dealt with the small amounts, the bar spoon of grenadine, the bar spoon of falernum when we were making Dawn's version of this. So there's a chance that's, Vic saw this and decided, hey, that he's using bar spoons of something. Let's use bar spoons of something. We're going to be putting in, let's get it from here. We're going to be putting in 1 bar spoon of some grenadine. There we go. There we go. And 1 bar spoon of, when we say dark simple syrup, I assume he's talking about like a Demerara or a Turbinado simple syrup. That's what we got right here. We need 1 bar spoon of some dark simple syrup. There we go. He is kind of going off of that 1 of sour, because there just isn't, or sorry, 1 of sour, 2 of sweet. He's putting in his 2 different sweets. There's just not a lot of them. Just not a lot of sweet going into this cocktail. That is all the sweet that even exists. That's all the sweet that even exists in this cocktail. We're also going to be putting in an awful lot of sour, because not only do we have 1/2 ounce of lime, but we're also putting in 1 ounce of lemon. I think this is crazy. I'm not positive that Vic sort of understood this. To be fair, Vic's specialty, other than of course the Mai Tai, was not his rum drinks. Vic was more of a anything but rum guy. Sure, he made rum drinks, but just not as good as Dom. Throw this in here. We need 1 ounce of some lemon juice, I guess, because I don't want to be accused of being a no good dirty scoundrel. We are going to measure this out. So 1 ounce of lemon juice. Boy, this lemon is a sucker. Not a great lemon for juices. I guess we're gonna have to put the whole lemon in there. I paid real American dollars for this lemon. Let's see if this one works. Oh, it just cracked right open. Boy, this is awful. I bought these lemons in a bag. I think that's probably the problem. You don't want to buy bagged lemons. Let's cut this last one. Good thing I brought in another one. Yeah, look at that. That is not a good lemon. We will shame that company as soon as we get a chance. I think it was Kroger. Put that in there. There we go. Let's see if we can get a full ounce of lemon juice from 1.5 lemons. Oh my God. Okay, I think we got it. I think we're good. Throw these all in there. I'm exhausted. Toss this in. Now, in this drink, we don't need to be mixing our rums with just one rum, just a single dingle rum. We are just going to be adding gold rum. That's it. What kind of gold rum? Freaking Puerto Rican gold rum, doggy. Grab that Bacardi again. That's the kind of rum that Vic liked. We're going to be throwing in 2 full ounces of some Puerto Rican gold rum. Crazy. Let me just say real quick, speaking of Puerto Rican, let me say hello to our good friend Puerto Rican Ashley, who showed up out of nowhere, watching us over on Kick. A lot of us, Ashley, are not on Kick. Most of us are over on YouTube. You want to come say hello to the likes of, let's say, Bon Bon and Doug and Davey. Lots of other people. Those are the only ones that have really spoken for a while. Oh, I saw another one real quick. Shawnee. Oh, Stephanie. You can just come say hi. Or else, you know what? Hang out on Kick. That's good too. Moosh. Okay, that is a lot of sour. Wow. I agree. That's a lot of sour. And not a lot of sweet. Very, very little sweet. And also, let's not forget how not sweet of a rum Puerto Rican rum is. It's not a real sweet rum. Bon Bon says, hello, Puerto Rican Ashley. Stephanie says, hello. Hello. I assume to Puerto Rican Ashley. Kind of odd. Let's see how our friend Vic does. Lots and lots of ice in here. Lots and lots of ice. Bon Bon says Skipper Ken in San Fran, right? Yes, Skipper Ken in San Francisco. We're going to be talking about that. I think that this is a really fun sort of story. I kind of like the Skipper Ken story. We'll talk about it here in just a second. Give this a nice big shake. Okay. Now, we're going to throw this one low. We're going to put it into one of our spinning cups. We're going to throw this nice and low over the already crushed ice. Stay back. There we go. Oh, we got to take some of this out of here. There's one ingredient in here that I thought was interesting. And that's the last ingredient. And I have already begun for my talk at Tiki Oasis San Diego. I've already been talking about adding some of this. This is just soda water. Now this is ignore this. Okay, it's got a little grape to it. It's a soda water. Soda water is an interesting ingredient to be adding into a drink like this, into a punch specifically. Why? Well, because CO2, the C in that, is an interesting ingredient. It's carbon. So carbon, when we add it into things, it has a flavor. It doesn't just dissolve. Yes, it's colorless. Yes, it's odorless. And technically, it should be tasteless until you add it into water. And then it gets sort of an acidic, almost bitter taste to it. If you've ever tasted Coca-Cola that you just let sit out for a while and you take a sip and it's so sweet, it's so very sweet that it makes you go, like that. Oh, so too sweet. I don't like it. You got to have some of that bitterness backing up that sweetness. That's the carbon in things. And especially when you have just carbonated water, all you're going to be tasting is that carbon. So if you ever taste carbonated water, you know that it's got some of that like acidic bitterness to it, which is why some people don't care for that stuff. But when you add carbon into water, the chemical reacts and it sort of becomes a different chemical. I think it's called carbon It's called carbon something or other. Don't. Bonbon says that drink does not need more bitter. There is no spice in here at all, unless we're talking about the grenadine, and we could be talking about the grenadine. Sometimes the bitter or the carbon is actually going to end up being the bitter, the spice, carbonic acid. Yes, thank you, Richie the Whiff. Hello, Richie the Whiff. Yes, carbonic acid. I read about that earlier and then I forgot all about it. Carbonic acid. When you add carbon dioxide into water, it reacts and it becomes carbonic acid. And carbonic acid has a taste. It certainly has a taste. So adding soda water into a drink isn't just making it bubbly, it's actually bringing a bitterness to it, which in turn, I suppose we could call that a spice. And thus, adding the soda water to drinks is a choice in spicing. Maybe. We're going to find out. We're going to add 2 ounces of a soda water. There we go. We're going to add the rest of this guy back in. Excellent. Yes, Bonbon makes a very good point. Richie the Whiff is alive. I know that we have all been on Rich Watch recently. Rich is in a very tropical location, dealing with very tropical storms. So, Rich, know that we are all thinking about you, and if we don't hear from you, we will bury a bottle of Pessoa in your name. So please get back to us when you can. Just check in with us. If you could say hi on Dr. Cush's Exotic After Hours every once in a while. We don't want to have any kind of ceremonies too far. Tonic water 2, April says that tastes like nickels. Yes. Yes. Tonic water does taste like nickels. That's honestly, I can't fault you on that one. Yeah. This is now, again, I don't want to get too deep into this, but since we're talking about it right now, I feel like this is kind of cool. I carbonate cocktails all the time. I have a big carbonating keg, and I also have a couple attachments for a carbonate. I'm not trying to brag. All right, I'm no big deal carbonator here. But when we carbonate cocktails, one thing that we have to watch out for is you don't want. So if you're carbonating an old fashioned, you don't want to put in the bitters into the keg that you're carbonating that, because if the carbonic acid reacts with the already bitter stuff, it will over bitter things instantly. Likewise, when you are drinking carbonic acid, thank you, Rich. Now I'm only going to be saying that word, with tonic water, which is quinine, which also has a very bitter flavor, then you will get an incredibly bitter, you get a lot of that bitter quinine coming out of it. So yes, tonic water, specifically when it's carbonated, and it should be carbonated for the most part, will experience an over bitterness because of the carbonic acid mixing with the quinine. Quinine is incredibly bitter. The reason that tonic water is so sweet and so caloric is because it is so bitter that you need to add a lot of sweeteners to it. There we go. I'm back and finally got some Prohibitus and duty free. Wow. All right. Well, Rich Watch is over, everybody. Whoever was on the Widow's Walk tonight can sit down. Rich the Whiff has made it home. It was pins and needles there for a while, pal. We were all worried about you. Okay, let's put in some sad mints. Let's just check it for spiders real quick. Don't want to have 2 spiders in there. We're not expressing the mint. We're killing spiders. We're going to shove this. We're just going to pull. I don't even know what that is. We're just going to pull you. Oh, it's a seed. There we go. We're going to pull you right off. We're going to shove you right in. And there we have it. This right here, Trader Vic's version of the Planter's Punch. I have a feeling that the reason that Dawn's Planter's Punch thus far has been one of our favorites is because Dawn understood, or at least heard the rhyme, one of sour, two of sweet, three of strong, four of weak, and a little spice make it all nice. Now, Vic tries in this one to make this work, but at half an ounce of lime juice and a full ounce of lemon juice compared to 2 ounces of some rum and 2 bar spoons of sweet is not enough. This is why we have that rhyme. This is when somebody messes up a drink like this, that's the reason. Because there is already a formula for this. We've already figured out the formula. You don't get fancy. Don't go crazy with it. All right. I personally understand that Vic is not my favorite guy, but that is too sour. Okay. Kyle, do you want to come get this? I guess you're going to want this. Yeah, break out the grenadine. No, we're not fixing that one. I think Kyle. Hey, Doc, when the summer punch is over, can we revisit your old videos on making homemade tonic syrup? Yes! Yes! We can. We will redo a tonic. Yes. If you've never had one of my gin and tonics, and I doubt many of you have, it has been described by one downtown bar patron as, what the hell is this? Why is it pink? Wasn't a great review that I got. Kyle, do you want this? Okay, Kyle's going to taste this. I think we should get your opinion too, Kyle, because I might be jaded. And then we'll quickly get through the Skipper Vic one, or Skipper Kent one. No, there's no spiders in that one. I've already checked. Confession time. Uh-oh. Oh, Kyle's making a different face. Here it comes. Here it comes. We have remember, this is Galove, Galike, Gahate. That's a Galike. That is just a Galike. I feel like that might be the first Galike we've ever had on the show. Yeah, there you go. Bonbon says, bitters in my gin and tonic are a fave. Kind of pink. Well, my tonic ends up being very pink and actually very dark colors because of quinine. We use real cinchona bark. Confession time. We signed up for the Vic seminar at TOSD. I believe so did I. So we're gonna see what's going on. We won't boo the whole time. Speaking of booing Trader Vic, let me tell you about Skipper Kent. This guy is awesome. I love him. Skipper Kent. Vic went down to Hollywood, saw what Dawn was doing, and took it back up and changed Hinky Dinks, which is like a hunter's lounge themed restaurant. He changed it into Trader Vic, and he basically stole the idea. Well, what did Skipper Kent do? Skipper Kent said, and I feel like this is great. Right in Oakland, right across the street from the original Trader Vic's, he opened up a new tiki bar. He said, he did his market research. He said, where they're selling the most tiki drinks in this whole town? Right on this corner, right across the street from the Trader Vic's. They're just selling, basically the Trader Vic's is selling all the tiki drinks. So if we put our bar there, there's already demand. We can siphon all the stuff off of Trader Vic. And he did. He did do that. He opened up a rival tiki bar across the street from Vic. I love it. Good for him. Okay. Well, Vic's like, well, this guy's got no staying power. I'm going to open up a second bar in San Francisco. And you know what Skipper Kent did? Same thing. He took the whole idea, moved it down to San Francisco, and he said, what? Oh, now we can't steal ideas? Now we can't steal ideas? Vic had nothing to say about it. Skipper Kent followed Vic all around the Bay Area, opening up bars right next to Trader Vic's. Just being, listen, that would drive me absolutely bonkers. I would want to die. But I do like when Skipper Kent did it. Anyway, Skipper Kent also had a version of this drink. This is the weirdest one that I have seen. This is the weirdest one that I've seen. Not often do we see creme de cacao show up in Planters Punches. In this one, we do. And this one seems like it has very, very odd proportions. It seems like, now I think we're going to have to count orange juice in this one as the sweet. We don't normally count orange juice as sweet. I had to squeeze some orange juice today. There's a whole issue. Anyway, we don't normally see the orange juice as sweet. Usually we see it as a mix of sweet and sour. But today it's going to be sweet. And we're going to be adding a full 1.5 ounces of orange juice into Skipper Kent's Planter's Punch. The sourness from that last cocktail has left me with some heartburn. That is not ideal. Thanks a lot, Vic. You know what we're going to run out of? I thought we had plenty of lemon juice. And now I don't think we do. Kyle, if you get a second, can you hustle your little bustle in here? Grab me a little, bring me one more lemon. I think I'm going to need it. I don't think these lemons have the lemon appeal that I need. We need 3/4 ounce of some lemon juice. Squeeze this in. Get in there. Yeah, we're not gonna have enough. Oh, we're gonna be so close though. You know what? Kyle coming in. Okay, Kyle's coming in. Thanks, buddy. I just needed a touch more. We're gonna really go through these lemons. These were not good lemons. I am giving them an F on the juice scale. Slice here. Get this going. And squeeze. There we go. 3/4 ounce. That was an awful lot of squeezing for 3/4 ounce. I don't feel like that was. I don't feel like I got my money's worth. Who do I talk to? Is that a senator thing? Representative? 3/4 ounce of some lemon juice. Right there. Now this is where this drink goes off the rails. Now me personally, I think it's great. I think that creme de cacao is not used enough almost anywhere. I feel like creme de cacao should be a way more popular cocktail ingredient. It just adds a little bit of chocolate-ness, just a little bit, not a ton, just a little bit. But it also brings in some really interesting sweetness. We're going to go ahead and put in 1/2 ounce of some creme de cacao. I don't know how well it goes with orange juice. Well, this can go right up here. We don't need to put that anywhere else. I don't know how well it goes with orange juice, but certainly it's chocolate and orange is not the craziest mixture. I just don't understand why he did it. I don't understand like the reasoning. But mine is not to question why. Mine is just to do or die. We need 3/4 ounce of some Jamaican rum. Obviously, when we can use Myers rum, we will use Myers rum. We had some family over recently. It turns out they are big Myers rum fans. So I think we're going to run out of it here. Yeah. That's 3/4 ounce of some Myers rum. That is done there. We also need 3/4 ounce of a light Puerto Rican rum. Which one is that? The other Bacardi. The light Bacardi. That is a pretty simple, basically rum vodka. 3/4 ounce of some light Puerto Rican rum. I'm going to open up the Orange Kyle right across from Dr. Cush's. Yeah, that would be what it would be like. Skipper Kent has a very interesting story. Yeah, we got to get deeper into the Skipper Kent story. I just think that it's hilarious. He was a pester. He was like that jerk at the poker table that never stops talking. Just like gets you eggs you on. He's like your younger brother. He just eggs you on constantly, gets on your stream. Is like, hey, what about Wet Wednesday? What about Wet Wednesday? He's kind of like that guy. Just like shows up and asks about Wet Wednesday. Seriously, I didn't miss anything. Is this real? Yes. Low carb cocktail guy. We are going long tonight, it turns out. But good to see you, pal. Very nice. This is the drink. If we look into how this works, 1 of sour is going to be our lemon. 2 of sweet is going to be our 1/2 ounce and 1.5 ounces of orange juice and the what do you call that stuff? The creme de cacao. Creme de cacao, technically in this one, would then be also our spice. That's about right. And then 2 different rums, one a little funkier than the other, nice and easy. But put a lot of ice in here if you can. Excellent. And then we're going to give this one a big old shake. Okay. There we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. And what glass should we put this in? I think probably, maybe this one. You know what? Put it in this one. People are requesting we get Smith & Cross back. We will, I promise. We will get Smith & Cross back here shortly. In the end, really, too, this one, I feel like orange juice is a sour for the most part. There's some sweetness to it, obviously, but I do think it usually ends up being kind of a sour situation. So if this one doesn't work out, is because, again, we are overdoing it on these sours recently with all of these extra tiki boys. Let's get one more piece of mint. With all these tiki boys that are deciding that it is super important that we put as much sour into these drinks as possible. Not ideal. Throw that there. Here we go. The pest, Skipper Kent, whether his drink is good or not, his intentions were great. He found out where they were selling tiki drinks, and he built his bar there. Way to go. Wait, 3 duds tonight, kind of. This one is fine. It's fine. Too much orange juice. Way too much orange juice. Yeah, I too much juice in these Planters punches. I feel like that's sort of where we're going wrong with this, because one other thing we got to remember is juice is often the weak as well. So we're losing the rum. We're not getting the 3 of strong in there. We're missing out. We're not finding the formula. The formula works. If you do the formula the right way, it should work. But none of these ones did the formula right. Dawn did the formula right. Steve Remsburg did the formula right. Real Planters punches do the formula right. If you're just making a regular Planters punch, it does the formula right. This, I think it's too much orange juice. I really, really like the creme de cacao in here. But unfortunately, that means that we lose an awful lot of the rum. Like, if I'm tasting that much creme de cacao, then we are in a weird spot with the rum. The Planters punch should be a place for the rum to shine. This is not the case here. Yeah, this is not the case. Kyle is getting very drunk. Kyle is getting very drunk tonight. That is true. Yeah, Dr. Kush is not drinking these ones. Kyle will be drinking these ones. Yeah, too much OJ, not enough rum. Certainly, we could have done in this one. I honestly, I feel like since we didn't have. Let me just make sure that I'm making this right, because this seems crazy. Yeah, lemon juice. I don't know. Not good. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring you guys 3 bad drinks. 3 strikes and out. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Yeah. Paul says that's why I'm trying to stay away from juiceless drinks. I think that's smart. Yeah, punches don't have to be super juicy to work out. These were all pretty juicy. Way too much, I think, of way too much of one thing or another. Things that I liked, These are the things I liked about them. I enjoy the carbonic acid being added, and if we can start to think of that as a spice, I think that that will open up a lot of very interesting ways to make to turn normal drinks into punches. If we can find a way to, not just by adding soda water, but by actually carbonating cocktails, by adding our own carbon into them, I feel like we have a fun door opening up for cocktails, for punches. I like the addition of our creme de cacao. I thought that that was a very nice, I think it has a very nice flavor to it. It also adds two ingredients, which is a sweet and a spice. Um, I like that we had a spider on one drink. I thought that was kind of an exciting little adventure we went on. And the grenadine, I feel like grenadine is something that we can be playing with more. Maybe bumping up grenadine in a lot of them, but finding a way to balance that out. Beyond that, this was kind of a failed experiment. Sorry about that. Uh, Not me. I'm just bringing you guys drinks. That's what we're up to. Um, that's what we got. Next week, let me tell you guys what's going on next week. Next week, we will have shows on Tuesday and Thursday. They will be special shows. Um, they will be special shows. They will be live to tape. I'm going to be recording two shows tomorrow to get this out to you guys. Unfortunately, I have been called away for all next week, but know that I will be in the chat section watching the live to tape shows with you guys. So there will be a Tiki Tuesday, and I will pretend as though I am talking to you. But Tuesday and Thursday, we will not have shows. But we will be back here on Saturday to hang out big time, doing all the good stuff. And then the rest of the summer, we will finish off our punch. We'll finish off the summer punch. So hopefully that is something you guys are interested in. And boy, Tiki Oasis is coming up very soon. If you have not gotten your tickets and are interested in some tickets, I think that a lot of things are sold out, but I have a connection. So let me know if you guys are interested at all in a connection to Tiki Oasis. Like I said, I have small tickets, big tickets, and a few other things that I can help you out with. As always, guys, we went way too late. So normally we would do a cheers, but not tonight. I feel like we're going to be. So no more hotel cocktails. I will not be in a hotel. Turns out, the low carb cocktail guy. I will be on assignment. So no hotel cocktail. We will do more hotel cocktails when I'm in a hotel, but I'm not in a hotel. I'm on assignment for a little bit. As always, you guys are the greatest. Let's hang out. Oh, remember, these classes will always remain free, but if you can't help out, there's a couple ways you can do it. First of all, I have Patreon. Patreon helps out the show because it gives us a budget. It lets us know what we are able to spend on the bar. And it also, if Patreon gets big enough, hey, I don't have to go on these on assignments, and we can really put our time into this thing. Oh, yes, Tiki Oasis seminar ticket. Yeah, if you want to buy the seminar ticket, follow that guy right there. If you can't help it that way, you can always find my PayPal or my Venmo. Buy me a shot, buy me a bottle. We also have a PO box. I believe I'm receiving honey from some people very soon, and I'm very excited. We're going to be doing a whole honey class here coming up, using honey that is being sent to me. If you can't help out that way, another great way to do it is, of course, to share this class, like this class, and talk about this class just in real life. If you can't do any of those things, just remember, show up. We do classes Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays here at Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. As always, you guys are the greatest. The thing doesn't work, so let me just say bye-bye. Thank you, David Virtue. David Virtue will send some fresh pickled lemons. Oh, fresh picked lemons. Don't send pickled lemons. Yes, David Virtue, if you could send some fresh picked lemons, I will accept them. Thank you. I think the P.O. box is right down there. If not, you can find it somewhere else. Over on Dr. Kush's After Hours is where it is. Thank you guys so much. As always, I will see you next time. And what do we always say? We always say, bye-bye. We forgot to sing happy birthday to Craig. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to Craig. Happy birthday to Craig. Happy birthday, our friend Craig. Woo-hoo! Happy birthday to Craig. Yay! Happy birthday, Craig. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Go. Bye, everybody.